Hi, this is Yahoo. I'm macro option trader. It's 8:42 a.m. on July 15, 2025 Japan time. Let's take a quick look at the Nikkei today. Yesterday, the Nikkei closed at 39,460 yen, slightly down by about 0.28%. And during the day, it dipped to around 39,300, then recovered a bit. Right now, it's hovering around 39,573, meaning we are still about 600 to 700 yen below Friday SQ level. Volatility index is at 23.96, a bit higher than the day before, but still stable. The Nikkei PER is at 15.62 with EPS around 25 to 6 yen. EPS had been on a strong upward trend, but it's started to level off a little. Still staying above 2500 is a solid. Globally, there's a lot going on. Trump tariff talk is heating up again, especially with the EU and Russia, Mexico, and Canada. Compared them, Japan's looks relatively untouched for now. There's also increasing noise around power potential dismissal, making this a chaotic market environment. Domestically, we are in the middle of the upper house election, and media coverage is intense, and honestly, it's hard to know what to believe anymore. Back in 2009, when power shifted from the LDP to the DPJ, Jiminto and Minshito, many said that Japan paid a heavy price. But let's not forget it was right after the Lehman shock and just before the Santen Ichiji disaster. Um, this time we may be witnessing a new political force rising, and it's unclear what kind of impact it will have. The Constitutional and Democratic Party and Sanseto, the even fringe parties like the Sanseto are seeing a momentum impose, and so with just much media pushback. No one really knows what real right now, but one thing for sure, only Japanese citizens can vote, regardless of foreigners' influence or online rumors. The result will reflect the will of the people. I'm curious how the LDP will react if they lose big again, like they did in the 2007 upper house election. Back then, the market reacted after the result came in. We could see a similar delayed reaction this time. That said, Japan's APS and divided it are still strong, and compared to 70 years ago, the connection between the companies and the government feels weaker now, and maybe more independent. From a structural perspective, the Nikkei might be pricing in more of a corporate Japan view than a political Japan view. Also, with the yen still weakened, that can continues to support equities. Now, on the interest rate front, Japan's 13-year yield is up to 3.15%, which is high for Japan. But interestingly, PER has not really reacted. You had expected it to drop as yield rise, but the market seems to be ignoring that. I've mentioned before that maybe the market now pricing PER relative to electricity capacity, not bond yield. If we use that framework, PER could go as high as 18 or 80.1. So maybe it's time to redefine the risk-free rate. Keep your eye on how the market interprets the election, not just the outcome itself. Quick check on global markets. S&P and closed at 6,289 points, up 0.1%. Not a huge move, but there's a definitely momentum building on the upside. Despite the move index rising, US equities has not shown much concern, almost like the markets becoming new to volatility. Gold is flat around $3,344, no major movement, but Bitcoin has broke above $1,20,000. It's strong, possibility acting a leading indicator again. And given how Bitcoin is tied to electricity demand, and with AI development following the demand, Bitcoin's value could be rising on those fundamentals. If electricity demand lies in the healthy way, there's no energy shock, so growth continues. That could explain Bitcoin's recent rally and the spillover into risk sentiment in equities. So Bitcoin may once again be leading the cycle. That's all for today. I'm currently holding a long put strategy. I'll follow along if you like. See you tomorrow.